Hello everyone, it's Dragon here. We're gonna do something a little bit different with the live stream today. Oh, I guess I should probably put my microphone a little closer so you guys can hear, hey? And turn off the intro music. That would probably help. Or actually put my microphone on, that would probably help. Alright, so as I was saying before I realized I was muted, we're going to be writing, well, I'm going to be writing a fanfic today, and I'm going to be updating it in the server as we go. And then I might do a little live reading of it too, if you guys are interested, just to get enticed into what the fanfic will be about. Because there's 3 fanfics that I have kind of queued up with prologues, but only one that I've been writing straight, because I've been just having creative juices ebbing and flowing through my brain vesicles. So I hope you guys are all interested and excited, because I know there was some interest expressed with doing this kind of thing. So I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So just so you're aware, this fanfic currently right now is being written live in my Discord server. This one is going to be the Viral Instability. It's a Gaster Blaster AU fanfic. So just to be aware, it is about that. I have been thinking about rewriting the whole, what am I looking for? Blueberry's Conversion. I don't know if you guys are aware of that comic that I have, but basically it's a comic detailing where Blueberry Sans becomes Bluebearer, or Swamp Sans becomes Bluebearer. I'm thinking of rewriting that as a fanfic, because I've been finding that I actually love writing fanfics in prose, so yeah. Would you guys be interested in listening to it as it goes? I have to apologize, my throat might be a little dry, because I was on a very long phone call prior to this, so I might be a little raspy. So I may have to get a little bit of, throat lubricant. So, all right, let's get into it. So I'm going to start off reading this, just so you guys know basically what I'm writing here. So the prologue starts off like this. Eric goes about his daily dealings of destroying AUs until he comes across an AU whose beings... Okay, so here I just realized, as I'm rereading that, someone gave me really constructive critique about my fanfic writing, that I kind of mentioned things a little too excessively. So I'm gonna also do a little bit of editing as we go too. But here we go. From the top. So Eric goes about his daily dealings of destroying AUs until he comes across one whose beings were able to fight back and fend him off using special magics and hexes. However, what they did not expect was the physical ramifications of their magic on him, and how this would change Error in more ways than they or even he himself expected. So that is the prologue to the Gaster Blaster Error fanfic. The other fanfics I put synopsises for are the Crossroads, an Ink and Error story. It's kind of like an Error x Ink fanfic, but not really so much in the lovey-dovey romance thing, and it's not smut, don't worry, I don't write smut. Just so we're aware. But anyway, prologue to this one. Creation, destruction. A balance that ebbs and flows, with flow of brush and the crush of a hand. 2 entities battle to pursue their goals, but one day they come at a crossroads, and the 2 may come to an understanding of each other. So that's the Error and Ink fanfic synopsis. The last one is a Gaster Blaster Papyrus fanfic, because no one writes about Gaster Blaster Papyrus. It's always like Sans, so I wanted to break the mold and be a little different. So the prologue for this one goes like this, and I've actually animated this story a little bit at the beginning, but I realized trying to animate a story like that was going to be too darn long, so I'm going to probably post the rough animation to this fanfic on my channel at some point or another. But it goes like this. Prologue. A lab accident causes undesired and dangerous side effects to Sans. Without intervention, Sans' very life is in jeopardy in more ways than he expects. However, there may be someone that might be able to take up the mantle, but will they be there to be able to bear the burden of such a task, or break from the weight of it all? So that's the Gaster Blaster AU for Papyrus, the fanfic for that. I'll read you guys off the first chapter of the Gaster Blaster Error story, because this is the one that I've actually kind of fleshed out, but it goes like this. Chapter 1. Just Another Day. Nestling on his beanbag chair, Error indulges in his binge of undernovella and stolen chocolate bars from Underfell. The glitchy screen reveals Asgoro blandishing a 6-shooter pistol aboard a fancy train car and a cocky bandit who held Undernovella Frisk captive. Well, Asgoro, it seems that we are a bit of a standstill, aren't we? I'll tell you what. You hand over your precious estate to me, and the child will return to you unharmed. The subtitles read from the bandit who talked in Spanish. You will not have our estate and harm that child. Hand them over and you will be let off easy. Asgore's subtitles read. You tell him, Asgoro, don't let him get away with it. Era cheered as if Asgoro would be enlightened and could actually hear the cheers. The standoff began to intensify on Era's screen, and Era, like a 90s kid watching the most intense part of a Saturday morning cartoon, came right up close to his glitchy screen, watching every little tiny movement, like an emaciated hawk finding a single mouse in the field. The gaze continued to intensify until his eyes were glued to the screen. Guns were drawn, eyes with an intense squint, Asgoro and the bandit ready to make the move that would put them at an advantage when, Bert! A sudden disturbance in the anti-voice glitched out the screen and sent Error leaping in the air from the jump scare of the disturbance. What the hell would cause such a disturbance that it would interrupt his show? Like a kid who had their Xbox shut off before reaching the save point by their sibling, Error raged and stomped his feet in anger. What the hell? How dare some goddamn AU disrupt the most intense part of Undernovella? I will make them pay! Glitching with furiosity as he stomped around angrily until he's cool enough to focus on making a glitchy portal to investigate the egregious interruption. A portal materializes to the Doodle Sphere and out steps the furious Air. Where is it? Where is that goddamn AU? His voice glitches and stutters as it echoes through the Doodle Sphere. He begins aggressively speed-walking with his shoulders hiked, trying to hunt down this newly created AU. Surely for something to make that much of a commotion, it had to stand it out like a gay nightclub in a countryside. Of course, with all this stomping and romping going on, it would be hard for Ink to not notice this angry little man-child making such a commotion. He was simply floating amid the negative space of the Doodle Sphere, drawing some silly little doodles with one caption reading, POV, when Error is being a doo-doo head. He tried to concentrate and redirect his annoyance at the commotion into inspiration for the doodles, but clearly that just wasn't happening. Well, time to go tease a little man-baby for a bit, he thought. With a wave of his broomy, Ink hopped into a floating puddle of black in a way that defied physics and gravity, as magic tends to do. He then emerges from a puddle behind Error, and with his iconic creepy face with the fangs, he says in a cold tone, What do you think you're doing here? Error, too mad to be freaked out by Ink's weirdness, throws his fist backward and smacks Ink in the face. He's like, Ow! Error, what the heck? Ink exclaims as if he shouldn't have expected this from Error, already knowing him as long as he did. You damn well know what the heck one of your stupid creators made an AU that disrupted Undernovella, and I'm gonna make damn well sure that AU ever regrets existing. AU? I don't think I recall... Oh, shut up. Don't play dumb with me. I know how connected you are, those damn creators, and I can sense when those bloody things pop up. Eric grits his teeth, glitching in annoyance more than anger at this point. Ink thinks for a while, tapping his bony finger at the base of his mandible, before an enthusiastic blink with brightly colored, shining shapes flash into his eyes. Oh, yeah! There was that one powerful AU that got created not too long ago. I think it was called Witchcraft Tale or something like that? I've never seen an AU make such an impact in the Doodle Sphere. It's quite... Oh, shut up. I don't want an origin story. I just want to know where it is. Ink crosses his arm and scoff. Ha! Silly Error. You really think I'm going to help you try and find an AU knowing your reputation? He chuckles. You're so funny. Error growls in annoyance. Fine! I'll do it myself. He stomps away while Ink watches him slightly entertained. This is going to be a great idea for my list of POV when Error is a doo-doo head series. He grabs a scarf and writes down his idea, but notices that his list has been rubbed off with the ideas where he are barely legible. I'm sure this idea is better than the rest. Maybe it'll stick. He scribbles down the AU over top the hodgepodge of scribbles as Eric continues on his journey to find the strange AU. So that's chapter 1 of that. What do you guys think so far? That's the first chapter of the fanfic. The chapters are very short. And when I update these chapters, they are a little bit kind of partially done. Just because, like, I kind of, flow them through as I go. But yeah, that's how it is so far. I'll let you guys just kind of type your responses there while I regain my throat. Because Error's voice is hard on my throat. Whew. All right. So yeah, that's chapter 1 of that. I'll read out chapter 2, and like I said, if you guys ever want to read this and you are on my Discord server, I think I still have the link in my Discord. You guys are welcome to come in there. And you also can write your own fanfics. I've actually made a new channel for people to post their fanfics. They just have to post it as threads so that they can keep everything together. And you can put comics in there and everything. I think I called it the library. Yeah, the fanfic library. So that's a new corner because I'm, from what I've been understanding, and this seems to be a general consensus that there's a lot of writers in my server, but I had no place for people to write comics and stories. So now the fanfic library right here is open for people to do that, and you can make your own threads. And yeah, people would be able to search them because they do archive, but they do stay around. I tested that actually with the free stuff in my Discord Nitro. The threads all actually stay there, even if they're archived, and they get unarchived when you type in them too. So people can actually see when things get updated, which is cool. I like that. So yeah, if you guys are interested in joining this Discord server, we're very chill. We don't talk a lot, but we talk sometimes and we do fun things. And if you guys want to share your fanfics along with other people and see these fanfics and other exclusive stuff, Discord link's in the description. With that little plug out of the way, let's get into chapter 2 of this fanfic before we write in it, so that you guys understand the context, because I feel like if I don't read the story before I write it, I'm doing you guys a disservice in this story. And obviously, I'm not going to spoil too much, because it's going to be written out live. So we'll put on some lo-fi once I write through that, and then, yeah, inspire you guys too. All right, here we go. Chapter 2. A strange anomaly in the universe. Multiverse. Wow. Already pulling out the gates really good here. Eris stomped about, continuing the look. Wow, okay. What's up, folks? Eris stomped about, continuing looking to find something that really struck out. Normally, he would have given up with the first hour, but the anger drove him to continue his quest. He peeked around each crevice of floating mounds within the doodle sphere, and stared intensely into the abyss as best as he could with the aid of his glasses. But still yet nothing to be seen until, out of the distance, he spotted it. A very peculiarly black AU floating in the distance with a strange, menacing purple aura in the words that read Hextail. It might look different, but it is still the same as any other stupid AU. Clutter that needed to be trashed, he thought. Aha! There you are, you stupid AU. Era pulled his strings out of his eye sockets and used the strings to pull himself over to the world. Certainly he could have just tried to attempt destroying the AU as it was, but since his favorite show was interrupted, he decided that he'd personally make a visit to this AU and strike fear and panic to its inhabitants and be entertained by it, letting them know their existence was a mistake. He portaled into the world. It had the same eerie energy, just like the outside. The skies were laden in a maroon and purple hue, which cast a dim light upon a rustic village, isolated by a surrounding bluff from all signs of modern civilization. Oh, this'll be too easy, Era thought to himself. He saw a large tree on the outskirts of the village that was very girthy and tall. Without a second thought, he swung his hand towards it, and like a spider's silk, the strings cast themselves upon it, coiling around the tree's girth like an aggressive cobra latching onto its prey. With a reinforced arm, he yanked the tree with all his might and started swinging the tree in random directions, making quite the commotion in the progress. The sounds of snapping trees and smashed cabins saturated the air, followed by the panic of many of the inhabitants. Ha 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 ha! Yes! All of the abominations scream for mercy! This is what you get for interrupting my show, he bellowed as the destruction continued until he decided it was time to get a little down to earth with the locals as he cast himself down onto the soil. You think you can just mess up my day for simply existing and get away with it? Ha! Fat chance. Without a second thought, he cast strings at the nearest frightened citizen and snared their soul. If you want to know what happens when you cross me, here's a great example for these lucky volunteers. His grin sharpened with an angry smile and his strings tightened around the victim's soul and shattered them, leaving the two denizens to crumble to dust. Aaron maniacally laughed and continued his onslaught on the AU. Meanwhile, in an underground cellar-like room, the AU's version of Alphys was tending to a mysterious cauldron, brewing with a blood-orange haze. when a proximity spell she had cast alerted them to the imposing threat. A large thundering of footsteps echoed from the upper chambers. It was Undyne. "Alphys, are you seeing what's happening out there?" she bellowed.
"My proximity alarm tripped and I heard a loud thundering noise. What is happening out there?"
"Some kind of monster with a bunch of string magic is going around wrecking the place and killing the villagers. If we don't do something, everyone's gonna get creamed."
"Oh, no. This is bad. So bad."
Alphys trembled. "Do we have any kind of spell that can cripple him or something?" Undyne looked towards Alphys's concoction. Alphys noted the gaze.
"Oh, I don't know if that tonic is ready yet," she remarked, averting your gaze to the same pot. But if it's something being used against an enemy, it can't be too bad. It's not like its effects are meant to be positive anyway," she remarked.
Meanwhile, back outside, air rained tyranny on the small hamlet. Fires sprung out and spells rang out in chaotic rambles, as the villagers knew magic but weren't properly trained in combat, so most of their music was either weak or poorly aimed. His chaotic laugh echoed through the area as the ruin brought joy to him in a way that would appease most sadistic foes. "Hey, String Bean! Why don't you pick on someone your own caliber?" Undyne's voice rang out from the distance. Era's gaze shot sharply into Undyne's direction. "You! Of course you'd survive that initial attack. Too bad you won't be sticking around long enough to witness this AU's destruction and wiping the doodle sphere." Era swung out his arm, casting a string in Undyne's direction. Undyne leaped and avoided the attack with little effort. "What the hell? You weren't supposed to be caught!" Era growled in frustration that he couldn't net the fish, and frustrating cast more strings in Undyne's direction, but kept missing. "Hold still, damn it!" His glitching began to intensify, and his highlights diminished into the deep dark redness of his eye sockets as his rage intensified with the repeated misses. "Papyrus, now!" Undyne shouted ahead of Era as Era finally managed to nab her. But in that moment, Era shot his gaze behind him to see the tall skeleton cast a binding spell on him. The binding spell made Era release his grip on Undyne as she freed herself from the grip. Era struggled like a worm on dry soil, frantically trying to free himself from the bonds by physically trying to break them. Alphys ran over and threw a vial containing the fluid that was in her concoction earlier to where it landed on Era and coated him with it. He immediately felt sick and his eye sockets began to glitch. He was nearly functionally blinded by the airs that flooded his vision, and in a panic, he managed to create a portal with his free hand that allowed him to fall back into the safety of his anti-void, but not before uttering one last threat. "You assholes will pay, you hear me?" The impact of the fall knocked the wind out of him. Coupled with the concoction that was thrown at him, he lost consciousness, his binds fading away as he got far enough from the AAU for the effects to fade away. "Great teamwork, guys!" Oops, that's Undyne. "Great teamwork, guys!" And I noted with a victorious tone. "That was quite intense, but I knew we could do it," Papyrus remarked joyfully. "Now we just need to rebuild the town bigger and bigger than before. And I'll get Sans to help." Papyrus runs back to the town to start rebuilding it. By the way, Alphys, what was that potion meant to be anyway?" Undyne asked out of curiosity.
"Oh, it was supposed to be a transformation spell that turns people into harmless animals. I was working on it for Gaster as a means to help make criminals less dangerous."
"Huh. That's an interesting version of reform," Undyne remarked.
"Yes, I agree. But Gaster thinks that being a cute, cuddly creature would make you have less tendencies to do evil things."
"You don't think that potion might have unintended side effects, would it?" Undyne asked.
"Well, I don't think it should, but it was unfinished, so it might make him some kind of weird hybrid or something. Maybe because it wasn't fully finished, but the probability of that is less than 10%, she remarked.
"Well, I'm sure after that little spat, I don't think he'll be coming back since we kicked his sorry ass back from where he came." "Hello, Mount Tian King. Welcome. We're just having a fanfic reading of my Gaster Blaster AU fanfic that is exclusively on my Discord channel. So I'm just reading it before I start actually writing the fanfic, so people know the whole context when I go to start writing this. So we're just into the middle of chapter 3. I haven't finished chapter 3 yet, so we're gonna be going from this. So this is where we're almost at the point where we're gonna start writing. Chapter 3. Caution. Job may have unprecedented hazards. It was 2 days after the initial siege on Hextale. Error had finally woken up. In that time he was unconscious. He had one major crash, which he had not been aware of, but felt the effects of it in the form of tingling and numbness, which was something he never experienced post-crash. He woke up feeling like as if his body was put through the ringer. Everything felt sore and achy. He weakly raised his hands and dragged his body across the floor of the anti-void to his beanbag chair. He made an effort to drag himself into it, struggling hard enough that it seemed like he had just finished climbing the peak of a mountain. His clothing and his ribcage catching on the fabric bunches up the chair as he slides up. He begrudgingly grunted as the chair, not cooperating with him like a kid who was being woken up from school in the morning. And then, with the best effort he could, he flipped himself the right way onto it. He sat there trying to let the brain fog go away, but it showed no signs of wavering. He tried to open a portal to steal chocolate, but surprisingly it didn't open. He tried again. Still nothing. Maybe he just wasn't able to focus enough with that fog, he thought. So he grabbed a chocolate bar from his stash under the beanbag. It was slightly melted, but it still held its shape. Error pulled out the chocolate bear raptor and wrapped his long prehensile tongues around it, snapping off a piece and to put in his mouth. He swished it around until he felt a sharp sensation graze his tongue, and let out a youch in response. Did Abomination 13 finally catch on that Error was stealing his chocolate and now was spiking the chocolate with sharp objects? That's a nod to that one controversy that happened with the girl who gave another girl who did sorial work needles in a cookie. It's kind of there's a joke there to be made. A dark one. He curled his tongues around the chocolate piece and dragged it out from his mandible to look at it while he grasped it in his tongues. Nothing there. How strange. He retracted his tongues back in, and again he felt the sharp sensation. But this time he was paying a little bit more attention and noticed it was something very smooth. Almost feeling smooth like ivory, but sharp on the edges. And what was more bizarre was that sensation was being felt where his teeth were. Was he dreaming? No. He couldn't be, if he felt that detail as he did. Concerned, he looked around for a mirror he might have stolen in his beanbag. He found a small hand mirror and looked at his reflection. Everything seemed normal until he looked at his teeth, which were now sharp and prominent, almost presenting like shark teeth, but without the serration. What the hell happened to him? Error started to panic, and the fatigue that he had was replaced by the priming feeling of fear and of what was happening to him. I don't know, he likes chocolate for some reason. The fear seemed to act as a catalyst for what was happening to him. He felt his whole body feel an intense tingle. His head started to ache, and his body was overcome by some sheer heaviness like a rock had fell on him. I just realized I wrote feel instead of fell. Let me change that. Had fell on him. This is why it's good to proofread your stuff, folks. Okay. He crumbled to his feet as the sensations intensified. He started groaning in pain as he felt an intense pressure just behind where his teeth ended. That pressure then had pain accompany it as his jaw shot forward into a maw and his nasal bone inverted. He then felt the same pressure manifest on the central, left, and right sides of his cranium, then the ramus of the mandible. His head felt heavier now, and keeping it up felt near impossible. Next, his fingertips began to tremble. He felt his fingers elongate, and the distal phalanges sharpen into hardened claws. What? I don't know what that means. He heard his groaning get deeper as the transformation progressed. So his voice deepened. I should probably rewrite that. The legs came next. He felt a sharp tug as his metatarsals, along with the familiar sharp feeling he felt in his fingers. The elongation forces his knees to bend to accommodate the new anatomical change. Finally, he felt a tingle at the tailbone. It was not near as painful as the rest of the transformation, but it too aggressively shot out with an added vertebrae tugging his body backward. He then felt pressure in his spine and ribs as they expanded to accommodate the change in proportions, and he felt his spinal cord thicken like rings on a tree, until he could finally lift his head again. He huffed and panted deliriously as the transformation concluded, barely maintaining consciousness from it all. He also felt his glitches recede as a strange side effect. Like somehow this change in appearance also led to an increase in physical stability. He fell backwards into his beanbag chair, which was now a lot smaller than him, so as now to function as only a neck and head pillow. He was internally freaking out but physically he was just too exhausted and pain to express it. The only sounds coming from his newly formed maw only being huffing and groaning. No, Era doesn't die. He just turned into a Gaster Blaster beast.
What the hell happened?
He deliriously muttered to himself before snapping to attention at the muzzle that lay in his vision. Surely this was just a prank or something. Maybe a bad glitching session that he didn't wake up from quite yet. But it felt too real. He lifted his claw hand up and felt the snoot. It definitely was a part of him, as he felt the clawed hand stroke down. He then looked at his hand, turning it dorsally, and then palmary. Realizing this, he freaked out and began screaming in a deeper than normal voice, realizing that this is in fact no dream. No. No way, this is not happening. This bullshit is seriously not happening. He kicked and thrashed his hands and feet around like a child having a tantrum that wasn't going to get McDonald's chicken nuggets, and by proxy his tail thrashed about subconsciously, sliding the mirror off to the side for Era to notice. He ran over to the mirror and picked it up with a gentle tremble, fearful about what he was about to see on the other side of it. In the mirror, he saw a draconian visage in bone, sharp teeth lining the narrow bony maw with two projections in the front, two horns protruding in a jagged L shape posteriorly on the side of a teardrop-shaped skull, nasal bone in the shape of an arrow tracing down the skull to the maw, the familiar eyes and blue lines below his eyes being the only thing that still remained the same. He freaked out again, but this time it was with anger, and in that anger he remembered that he had some kind of throw-shin thrown on him. That stupid fish! When I get my hands on her, I swear to God, she is not gonna know what hit her! He continued his dragon rage in the void, having the mother of all tantrums. He clawed out the strings out of his eye sockets that were no more like ropes due to his increased girth. He whipped around the strings like whips, hacked and slashed them about, and then, for whatever reason, he took the strings in his mouth and started tearing at them, and finally ending off on an accidental laser blast from his mouth that actually shocked him. He paused. What the hell? A blaster blast? But from me? He sat there puzzled, trying to fit the pieces together. No freaking way! They turned me into some kind of blaster hybrid? Oh, this is too rich! He laughed maniacally. As soon as he figured out how to open up a portal, he would come back for round 2, but before destroying them for good, he'd make damn well sure he made sure to get a cure out of them. In that moment, Ink made his way into Error's domain. Hey, Error! Did you manage to find that AU we were looking for? Ink stopped for a moment as he laid eyes on Error's new form. Error's eyes swung over to where Ink, and their eyes met. Hey, Error! You didn't tell me you got a new pet dog. Listen here, you little shit. I am no dog. Error chuffed and smog flumed out from the other sides of his maw. Oh, no way! I didn't think you'd embrace becoming a furry, Ink remarked. And that is where the fanfic ends, because I didn't know where to write from there, but I had to make the furry joke because so many people that saw my Gaster Blaster Era design joked about him becoming a furry, so I had to write that joke in there. It was just too good. So yeah, that's the fanfic so far. But no, if you guys ever want to have a read of that, the fanfic is available for watching or for reading at any time in the Dragonfire section, so yeah. And now I'm gonna put some lo-fi on, and I'm gonna brainstorm up some ways to, what's it called here? What's gonna happen next after Ink addressed Error's a furry. All right, let's do this. So yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed that so far. Now we're gonna get right into it. Hold on, I gotta actually put my headphones in here. Give me 1 second, because apparently I gotta change my audio output. There we go. Alright, now you guys shouldn't hear that on both ends. And if you guys have any constructive feedback as I'm writing this, feel free to do so. Or if there's any constructive criticism you have for me, that's also awesome too. Because I just started doing this whole fanfic writing, I have wrote stories before in the past as a kid, but I only did it because I wanted to spite the teacher of not having to write journals. So far I've had a lot of people really like that fanfic. So here we go. Awesome. Yeah, go for it. So yeah, no, I hope you guys are entertained. Now we're writing the rest of this. I also feel like doing the Blue Bears conversion. Oh, that's awesome, Blue. Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys were entertained by that. Did you guys like my comparisons, like the whole thing being sticking out like a gay nightclub in a foreign place? Did you guys like that euphemism? I like using colorful euphemisms in my narration. I think you guys could probably tell that, so awesome. Yeah, I want to incorporate that in some of my serious stuff too, as like comic relief. Not just simply the characters being comic relief, but the lecturing too. Just like what I'm about to do here. Alright, so this is what I got so far. A furry? What in the hell? I am not a furry, Era remarked with disgust. You know, if you would have just shown me where that AU was in the first place, I wouldn't be in this mess, he roared out, even though he knew this was definitely his fault and he could have used common sense. But as the saying goes, common sense isn't so common anymore. Haha, okay, sure, Angry Heart. I can't read your username, Enbel, or is that Lebne? I don't know what to call you, but hello. Joined in at a nice time, so what we're doing today... Why error Y to itself? What do you mean by that? Oh, okay. Well, nice to see you again, Ender. Yeah, so we're doing something different. I'm writing a fanfic. I just got done doing a whole fanfic reading of this. There was some clowning on about furries, even though I'm a furry myself. I know, shocker. And a few other cool little euphemisms. I might also try and write the Blue Bears conversion one tonight, too, if I get a little bit stuck on this, because as you guys know, with my animations, I like to bounce between different animations. It's no different with me doing the fanfics, because I've thrown a whole bunch out there, but yeah. I'm gonna have Ink boop his snoot. You know what's gonna happen. He needs to be booped. What do you guys think Ink would do if he saw Error as a Gaster Blaster? Like, what do you think Ink would do to mess around with him? Like, that's a question I have for you folks. Treat him like a puppy. Oh, that gives me a good idea. I just imagine, like, Ink giving him frickin' Scooby stacks. Going to pay him to death? Wait, you can pay someone with money to death? How does that work? Okay. I mean, sure, I guess. Boopable instead of boopable. What is that called? Gremlin-like grin. Knowing him to death by being a furry? What do you mean by that? I am so confused. Oh, what is it? Captain Hook. Captain Hook's a pirate from Peter Pan, right? Yeah, I think it is. Had the little clock and it would tick-tock, tick-tock, and the eyes would tick-tock, tick-tock. Oops, I hit enter too early there. Okay, probably all of these are gonna have edit at some point. I'm gonna have Ink say, oh, that's a spicy meatball. I'm gonna have him yelling now. Ink's just like screwing with it at him now. Oh, this line's gonna be good. I meant to say chalk it off, and I put cock it off instead. To magic. Okay, so this is one line. This made me giggle here. Knock it off! Error roared, attempting to fire the blast from his mouth again, but he somehow managed to suck back the smoldering smoke and choke on it. How a skeleton chokes on smoke without lungs makes no sense in realistic sense, so let's just chalk it up to magic. Also, my stories have great PSA. Back rooms? I don't know about that. Oh yeah? Crazy. You know, I never figured out how tall I would make Gaster Blaster Error. Because, like, I've thought about making him, like, ginormous. But then I was like, but ginormous Error would be so impractical in a story sense. So he's like, he's getting a little bit of a height. I want to say he's, like, around anywhere between 6 feet to 8 feet tall. But he's walking on his twos. Well, as far as, of course, he's shorter, but... Yeah, I never really did figure out a canonical height for him. You imagine if Ink actually tries riding Error like a freaking... You know what, when you have a big dog and then you try to ride the dog? You imagine Ink trying to do that with Error? That would be hilarious. God, Ink's just being a gremlin to him at this point. The poor guy just went through a painful-ass transformation, and now Ink's just, like, freaking tormenting the hell out of him. I guess it's like payback from when he was trying to do. This is why you don't disrupt like an artist doing their art. Nah, kid. No. Don't get easily disrupted. Not most of us, anyway, that I know of. But... Ink's just being an asshole, plain and simple. Oh, this one's funny. This is a kind of a dirty joke in here, but Ink took his brush and swiped a goopy portal down on the floor and emerged from one just above Air's body in a fancy little flip that nobody saw. Oh, wait, hold on. That's a run-on sentence. I'm terrible with those. I am terrible with run-on sentence. Even my teacher, like, marked me on my report about run-on sentence. Alright, okay. Ink took his brush and swiped a goopy portal down on the floor. He emerged from one just above Air's body, and in a fancy little flip that nobody saw, he landed straddling his legs on Air's back. You could say that he was lucky that he didn't have a certain pair of organs down there. Or he probably would have regretted it. You imagine he's just trying to like, oh, my balls. Okay. All right, I'm kind of stuck on that. What else he needs to do? So, yeah, the bowls. That's where pee is stored. That's what everyone says, right? That he was lucky that he didn't have certain parents. Probably would have regretted it. Just be like, Ink be like, yeah, giddy up, pal, boy. Oh. You forget the caps lock. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Ink finally got what he had coming to him. He finally got now. Voice would that be? Like when you're squished, yeah, that kind of noise. What would it call a squished voice? Oh. I guess you could say in a voice that sounded like he had his rib cage. Drained voice? Okay, thanks, Blue. Drained voice that sounded like his ribs got turned into flour. Pounded into flour. Still in a flattened state. He grabbed Rumi and swiped a little circle beside him where he slid himself in like a smooshed cockroach to the doodles here. Hey, Positive Art Flow. Nice seeing you again. Just doing a live fanfic writing here of a Gaster Blaster AU, which is the reason for the live stream title there. We just got done doing a whole entire reading of my fanfic so far. There's been 3 chapters written on this so far. This comic, or this fanfic is on my Discord for reading anytime that a person likes. Yeah. Currently we're writing the rest of chapter 4. So yeah. I honestly don't know how to knit, so like I'm assuming this is how knitting is. Thank you. Oh, well, thanks for the wait, I guess, eh? Fell asleep. I think that's a good place to leave off that chapter, with him falling asleep. Poor guy just, like, went through a transformation, and he's just like, you know, I dealt with all this, I'm done. Alright. So now that I've kind of leaving off on that, that's chapter 3 now. That's probably about a 2 pages worth, I'd say. Alright. I also want to do one with the, let's see here. I want to jump away from the, Gaster Blaster AU and the Air and Ink thing and do the Blue Bear's conversion thing. So we'll do that. So I've got an idea for this one now. Oh yeah, by the way, just to make your fanfics easier to find in my domain, if you're writing fanfics in the thread, make sure to tag them, because that'll help find, like, by topic and stuff, too. I'm not sure if you can do that with threads, but, like, you can probably, like that, I'm sure, maybe. Yeah, okay. Okay. I mean, if you got a story and you're on the server, you can actually put in the new chat. There's a new one called the, what's it called here? Fanfic library. So you just add a new thread and you make your story there and update it. Then other people can read it. If you wanted to put it there. And I may read it. Oh, there's the blueberries conversion. It might delete your post, though, because it might be too long. I don't know if that will work on YouTube. You could try, I guess, but I don't know if it'll time you out. I put too long in the voice instead of the void. That one when you put white instead of quiet. I gotta actually remember. I don't remember what listless means. I want to use that word, but I want to make sure I'm using it right. Yeah, that's okay. That's. there, Isabel. Welcome to the stream. As you may notice, we're doing something a little bit differently. We are writing up some fanfictions. I just finished up rewriting the third chapter to my Gaster Error Sand story, and now I'm just kind of jumping to the Blueberries conversion story, which I just had an idea for because I was actually stuck on. I had a writer's block for the other fanfic, so writing that one there to kind of help with the writer's block and then jump back and forth. Same thing I do with animations, but with writing instead. That. This is gonna start off a little angsty, this one. Poor little Blue's all depresso espresso right now. And it's funny because I kind of relate to this in a sense too. It's like that moment where you're kind of like stuck in a situation where you think you can't get out of it. And these thoughts come to you. You're like, I can't do this. There's no way I'm getting out of this. I am beyond hope. That kind of thing. And it's like, you kind of realize that it kind of changed that fate. Unfortunately for Blue here, he's not going to be able to. At least not in his current state. I'm just gonna call him Blue for the sake of shortness. Positive, how long is this fanfic exactly? Because if it's quite a few paragraphs, I would probably prefer you put that into the Discord server, just so it doesn't clog up the chat too much. I was just kind of realizing that after the fact. I'm apologizing, like, no one did that before, so I do apologize for that. Yeah, might be best, because I think it might flood the chat. Unless everyone's okay with it, but I don't know if they are. Yeah, maybe reserve that for the Discord server. That's okay. I never thought of that, and I never realized that it might clog up the chat. That's my bad. I'm gonna fall for that. That's my apologies. Put in the description? Like, what do you mean by that? Oh, okay. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Alright. I have returned. So, you know when you're going to the bathroom and you don't have something to read, and then first thing you grab is a conditioner bottle or a shampoo bottle and you read the back of it? You're just trying to concentrate and go in the bathroom. You know that feeling? Because I totally did that. So, what's it called here? I'm gonna also do something really quick, because I don't think I pinned my, whatchamacallit here. My Discord server in the chat, so I'm gonna do that right now. Discord server in the... my voice right now. Okay, yeah, the Discord chat thing is there. Is that actually going to the right server, though? Let's check. Okay, it actually does go in the right one. Okay, good. I was worried it didn't. Okay. So, I'm gonna copy this for you guys so you have it. I'm gonna pin it in there, so then you guys can also share your fanfics there. Copy. Oh. You can't post it at home? Jesus, that's a really long link. Okay, let me just grab it from my Discord. Oh no. I'm not good at sewing, honestly. The fact that you're doing sewing is, like, intense. Let's see here. Where's my invites? Okay, there we go. Right. So, I'll post this in here because apparently my links are not copying nice there. Oh, you can't at home either? That's sucky. Well, maybe one day if you can post it onto some other kind of thing, maybe I'll publicly read it. How's that sound there? Positive. I'm gonna see if I can pop out the chat here. Like, my phone's dead, so I can't read it off the general chat. I'm gonna pop you guys out here. Snap you over to the side. Yeah, no worries. Did I pin that? I think I pinned it. Okay, that I can't see. There we go. Uh-huh. Oh, it is pinned. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, whenever you can join on there, feel free to do so, and then you can share your little chats there in the fanfic library. Or you can do that too, that also works. But if you don't have any chat and to put it, you can always just do a thread of it. Or do like Gingy does. Okay, let's get back into the Blueberry's conversion. Oh, rip. Well, save that link. That link is also on my live stream, so if you happen to have it at home or if it's like on your cell phone, you can also join that way too. Oh, rip. Well, maybe one of these days, you know, just you could tell me a link or whatever on the next live stream and maybe I can publicly read it. How's that sound?
Ugh, my nose is so itchy, jeez.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to do that another time, just because it's really late, so my voice is starting to waver. Like I said, I had a big, long phone call and then this beforehand, so I'll save it for next time, yeah? Another time, positive. I'll look at it another time. Gotta close my door, it's a little chilly out there. You don't know that. You're here now. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. I'll be streaming other times. I just happened to be streaming this Sunday because I was like, well, I'm curious to see how a fanfic thing goes. So don't worry, there'll be another time. It's just that if I was to read your fanfic publicly, I wouldn't be doing it a service. I feel like I'd be doing it a disservice, so I don't want to do that. Oh my goodness, I'm probably making you guys sleepy by yawning like this. Well, it is almost midnight. Me anyway. Yeah, it just hit midnight. You guys see my cool watch? I'm thinking of changing it to my fresh icon I just made not too long ago, but there you go. Oh. Yeah, check that out. Isn't it neat? I made that. Pretty nifty. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I don't want to be doing your fanfic a disservice when I'm half tired, because like I said, it'll be groggily red and I'll probably fall asleep halfway through it, so I don't want to do that to you. And I don't want you feeling bad for me doing that. Gosh, I think I'm out of ideas for this one. a little bit longer of a chapter, but it's still short. Seems so short. Oh my gosh. Alright. Yeah, sounds good. Ugh. Hello, Riff Guy. I was just saying, you know, I'll read it another time. Like I said, I don't want to be reading a fanfic when I'm yawning like this. It's not gonna do your fanfic any justice, and it might seem like I'm getting bored of it when I'm not. Even if it is a couple minutes. Yeah. Honestly, at the moment, I don't really have much to talk about, so I'm not sure. All I know is that I was actually, top seller of some shoes, of a certain shoe brand today, so I'm like top 30 in all of Canada, so that's a pretty cool little accomplishment I did. Okay, that's chapter 1 of the Blueberry's conversion. That is a very angsty way to start off a fanfic, but... Oh my goodness, how many of you guys are still with me here? Aside from Positive, because I know Positive's still here yet. Oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so no. Got 3 chapters of viral instability and then the Blueberry's conversion, so chapter 1 of that. Nice. See you here, Ender. 12 p.m? Yeah, it's like midnight right now, just about 1 p.m. in about 4 hours, but... Yeah, no, this was an enjoyable live stream. I quite liked that. I liked reading out that fanfic to you guys. Like I said, next stream I do where I do fanfics, I'll read out Positive Artflow's fanfic, or at least a snippet of it. And, yeah, go from there. You guys have any things you want to talk about before we wind down for the night? Oh my gosh. Nice to see a good turnout here, too. Appreciate it, you guys. Yeah. Got any questions for me at all? I know I'm kind of looking like I'm falling asleep here. A bit late. I don't mind entertaining that. That's good, Gingy. Happy for you. Creative is such a nice escape. Nice. Whew. Switch over my screens now. Oh, camera's not showing there. Or not. Okay. Fine. Let me fix it. My video caption. Oh, there we go. Pop that in where it's supposed to be. There we go. Move my camera a little bit more in center here, because oh yeah. Oh goodness. Hey you guys, who here is still in the night zone with me right now? Out of curiosity. Can't believe that's spent an hour doing that thing. Type of art. Okay, oh, Blue's with me in the late hours. Dang. You're sewing that late? Holy cow, girl. It's crazy. I like animations. I guess it's pretty obvious with the whole art thing, isn't it? Oh my gosh. I honestly don't know how I used to be able to do that. I never like stayed up a lot, but when I did, I don't even know how I did it. Crazy. Go up to Dashi if you guys want to see him. You were sewing in the afternoon, you're still sewing now? Crap, girl, that's dedication. Eddie, come here! Come on, Tadashi! Come on, Tadashi bear! Come on! I'll get Teddy, he's being so cute. Come on, Tadashi! So cute, it just sounds like a movie. Look at that little boyo. Teddy. It's the dog time. He's as tired as me, look at this. He's so tired. That tired thing. Are you tired too? Tired. The only reason I don't have Nico on my lap right now is because Nico's huge. Barely fits on my lap. This guy is small, he's lap sized. Shy, Daddy, come here, look at the camera. Look at the camera. There you keep little eyes. This one's 5, the other one's 9. So snuggled, but he will never cuddle. Cuddle in a certain way, but like if I was to cuddle him like this, he won't let me do it when I sleep. But Nico, he'll let me do it. But I find with Nico, if I cuddle him like that after a while, I get like this weird numb feeling in my throat or my mouth. Or this weird fuzzy feeling. I think it's from his dander, but only cuddle him for a limited time, but it's okay. 'Cause it's usually by the time I'm about ready to sleep. Teddy? No, he's a small little thing. Like, look, this is how big he is. So small. Computer doesn't flop off. Good boy, Teddy. Yeah. Just yeah, you guys, all the rest of you who haven't answered, you guys are enjoying the chat so far? Stream? Think it might be something I should do a little bit long? But he does. Five-year-old, he acts like a baby. Like he's done. He's just so tired. Yeah, do you think we should go to sleep, Teddy? Or kill marriage? Wanna go sleep? Huh? Go sleep, Teddy bear? Alright guys, well it was nice having a great live stream with you folks. Thanks to all of you who are sticking around so far. Enjoyed listening to me read out my fanfics. Not sure when I'll do the next one as usual, but yeah, it's nice. Yeah, good idea, Blue. Get some sleep. Sleep? You are better. Before I sit through the night, that's no good. Yeah, sorry, Flo? Go to bed, Teddy. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. No, that's the couch. Go to bed. Go to bed. I'll be right there, okay? Aw. Thanks, Gingy. Go ahead with your question there, Positive. I'm gonna call her a night. Hey, Nico. Both my Shivas want me sleeping. Today's alright. About to call her a day, though. Pun intended there. Yeah, it was nice having you guys on stream, and we'll talk again. But I know I'm terrible with planning things, but maybe once things get a little more settled down and less crazy in my life, I'll try and make things a little bit more regular. Yeah. Until next time, guys, have a good night. For those of you who are still in the middays yet, not in the late nights like I am, have a good day, and I hope the rest of your day goes well. Talk to you in the next one. Bye.